Dr. Craig Wright's $6 million gamble. Appeal analyzed here by Gavin Mehl in xSpace upcoming. Stay tuned to the rest of the video. We'll break this down right now. All right, so it's official now. The Dr. Wright filed in his appeal on the 5th of August, 5th on Monday, which was the 20th day to appeal. Effectively, the 6th would have been his last day, but he made the statement that he was going to make that application. Now, in this video, we're just going to talk a little bit about the ramifications for that, and also talk about an xSpace that I'm going to be hosting tomorrow. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, 11 and 1 o'clock Eastern time. In the link below, I'll put it in the description. You can tune in live, and we're going to do a panel. I'm going to do a panel on X, and we'll discuss the appeal and the ramifications of it. This case is so freaking huge. Okay, I'm talking about it because it is an absolute landmark, earth-shaking case. First of all, the financial titans on both sides. So right now, just to give you kind of an idea, the way I'm seeing it is it looks like Wright's paid in $6 million to the court. $6 million into the court. That's just for mostly appeasing the other side. That's what it looks like so far. Not including the amount of appeal costs that he's already paid for his massive team of attorneys and law firms that have gotten him to this part so far. So I don't even know what that number is. That's unsure, but it's probably another $6 million. I don't know. But apparently now he's going to file the appeal. Okay, so in estimating appeal costs, I mean, he's going to have to pay a retainer on the appeal. And so let's say 400 hours at, let's say, I don't know, 500. Senior attorney is probably going to be about 400 hours. I'm thinking it may be like 1,250 pounds an hour. I'm estimating that's going to be about 375 to 500,000 pounds. Plus, junior paralegal, probably like another 600 hours to 800 hours. That's another 500 pounds an hour. That's going to be about another 350,000 pounds. Court fees, expert witnesses, expenses, whatever, another 200,000 pounds. So I'd say estimated appeal costs for retainers probably going to be about 1.1 million pounds. That's just a ballpark number that I'm kind of throwing around there that based upon what he's already paid and the amounts they've put in here. So I would say he's going to be budgeting about well over 1 million pounds just as a budget, as a starting point. I'd say to open this case up on appeal. That's on the top of the already estimated of about 6 million pounds paid in, plus the other whatever amounts he's paid in for the attorneys to even retain this case. So this guy is not, he's not backing down. He's definitely doubling down on what he's putting in. Now where's this guy getting all this money? I think that's what everybody wants to know. How is he so freaking rich? Because if you go back into the book we read, Hero Villain, Satoshi, the man who built Bitcoin, the guy was, Dr. Wright was apparently going out of business with his companies. They were all being, canceled and put out of business about 2015 when he went and got outed on Gizmodo and Wired magazine. So now all of a sudden this guy is throwing around, 6 million here, $1 million plus here on this appeal. Other attorneys costs at no without a drop of a hat, just wiring into the court. There's no issues on this type of funds. So where's it all coming from? What's the real source of all this wealth? We know now from the case that it's not, according to testimony, it's not Calvin Ayre. That's what the testimony says. Again, the court said that Craig's a liar and a fraud, and they also said that Stephen Matthews is a liar and a fraud. So maybe that testimony is not good, but that's going to have to be. That's some of the facts that are going to be looked at on appeal. In addition to the Ager-Hansen separate action, people think it's really funny that a guy could come in there and basically pose as the CEO of a company and ultimately commit corporate espionage. I mean, that apparently is what happened with the Ager-Hansen allegations. It's a judgment against him because he's failed to surrender the property back to the court, which would have been a cell phone, MacBook Pro, any files that belong to nChain. He just failed to surrender those things. So the court issued judgment and then contempt against him for doing that. Well, that looks like blatant interference because those documents that Ager-Hansen had, I'm sure this is going to be argued on appeal, could be like would be called exculpatory evidence that could be make or break this COPA case. And even though it was coming forward on a separate action, because it came out on a judgment on contempt, I think it's gonna my humble opinion as a non-lawyer from California, I ain't no attorney, but I'm saying that it's going to look like it's going to have to be brought in because it sure is relevant. That judgment is a separate collateral action directly affecting this. We'll see what they say on appeal. I don't have the actual documents on appeal. Wright put on on his Slack channel, which he has on a private group, saying that he applied for the appeal, and then somebody commented back, "What's the status? Can we look it up?" Saying it hasn't been docketed in the case, but it's been done. That was yesterday, timely. So that's what he said publicly. We don't have any statement from Wright. We don't even see what it says. We haven't seen anything else. So all we can do is speculate. But tomorrow we will definitely be breaking that down, only because this is such huge news that this case is even going on and people aren't really talking about it. It's going to appeal. Oh yeah. No, dude, this is a big freaking deal. You know, he's coming up with a lot of money to put this appeal forward, and he's doubling down. I mean, filing this appeal is basically like doubling down on his claim to be Satoshi. Because if he was so certain that he was, a liar and a fraud, then at this point would probably be a good time for him to fold and ride off into the distance and disappear forever and hope, he doesn't get, worse punishment. Pray to the court, some sort of a nice settlement, whatever. But no, by doubling down, going to appeal and pushing this envelope forward, he's not in any way putting up the white flag. He is, I would say, doubling down. It's basically a good analogy of what's actually happened. So tomorrow, tune in, xSpace, 1:00 Eastern, Gavin Mehl on X, and see it live. I'll put a description at the very top of this video. You can tune in live and join the stage. I'm going to have a speakers panel up there. It's going to be pretty exciting, reviewing what we know about this so far and how this monumental case and decision could be affecting the future landscape of everything, man. I mean, this case is so big. It's just so big. If it goes back on appeal, the impact of it is so huge. I don't think people want to talk about it. And so it'll be fun to kind of speculate on this. If it goes back on appeal, what actually that will actually mean. So stay tuned tomorrow for this. We'll see you at the top and at the space tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. I will read your comments or reply if it's necessary. Hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I put out a new video. I'll see you at the top.